Where is the platinum production going to come from? Your story as Northam or the industry?
Yeah, I think before I answer where the growth may or may not come from, I think it's worth remembering we're still in a supply correction at this stage. I do agree with Chris that we're not out of the woods by any means as we are at the moment. And,
do we need to shut more things down?
I think you will see more shaft closures even in this market. I think.
And do you want to advise your colleagues on what they should shut down? Or
no, I think they know. I think they know, and I think it is reasonably well publicized. But with jokes aside, I think we will still see, unfortunately, shaft closures in the coming 12 to 18 months with the associated job losses, as Chris has pointed out. Yeah, I mean, additional supply can come on from various places right across the Bushveld. But perhaps it's very important to understand when and if and how they would come on, bearing in mind that the cost of things, I'm referring to capital, cumulative capital cost inflation, the industry has not really seen too much project work going on for pretty much a decade. Things have now cost a lot more than they did. So the capital bill is somewhat, maybe somewhat surprising for potential new projects. Capital intensity is another very, very important metric, and that refers to the life of the project. You know, how much capital per ounce would you spend, and then what would be the cost of production for that project relative to everybody else.
So my view on the South African platinum mining industry, I'll actually take our Implats group and our Impala operations. So I really do see a decline in terms of production in the deep conventional shafts, especially in Impala. So there we are going to see a depletion. But I do see that in the platinum space, we are going to see opening up in other limbs and the move towards mechanization. So, you know, at current platinum prices, we're just going to see the extension of the western limb, but looking into the future, we are wanting to move into mechanization, especially at Implats, opening up in the northern limb, you know, continuing in Zimbabwe, although it's not South Africa, and also continuing in the eastern limb. And especially driving the mechanization in the industry. I also think, you know, the South African platinum industry, we also need to look at technology and innovation in helping us to grow the industry and not be laggards as far as the adoption of technology and innovation is concerned. I think earlier on somebody spoke about the Mandela Mining Precinct and the great work that it's doing. We need to foster more collaborations in order to take the industry forward. I think it's incumbent on us as leaders of the industry to make sure that we promote the possibilities of the South African mining industry. So, you know, collaborations with the tertiary institutions to make sure that the curricula is relevant to take, you know, the industry forward. You know, when you look at the type of people that are going to be working in this industry in the years to come, it's not going to be your typical mining engineers. You know, we're looking at data scientists. You know, we're looking at people who are going to do the digital work. So I think it's incumbent on us to promote the future possibilities of the industry, go into these tertiary institutions, and partner with them to make sure that the curricula is relevant for the mine of the future.
We are already collaborating. Perhaps there's still room to do more collaboration. I mean, number 6 shaft, Impala is mining, you know, down deep ounces of our south shaft on a royalty basis, as well as some part of our ore body of the north shaft from number 20 shaft. So we are already collaborating in that regard. Whether there is still room or not, it depends on how feasible that is to mine from, say, Impala to us or from us towards Impala. How distant, say, number 20 shaft is from our ore body at Sterref 2, or how far is our Sterref shaft away from the ore body next door. But there is, depending on the technical feasibility of that, we've always been open to that kind of collaboration. And obviously there's difference between collaboration and consolidation. And I see Nico's dropping his head. But I've always been of the view that consolidation is good provided you're tapping on the synergies that flow from consolidation. You don't consolidate for the sake of bulking up and becoming this big consolidated producer with high-cost shafts and mixing them with low-cost shafts, and you virtually diluting margins in the process. Consolidation has got to be for the benefit of the shareholders, but also on the market, because that should enable you to remove expensive ounces from the market.